Happy Monday, Tough Crowd fans. I am Jenny, and we're here for some Monday observations, talking about reflections on Halloween, which thank God is over. This morning, I went on my normal walk with Leo, of course. Beautiful weather here in Florida. We're loving this cooler, less humid weather. So there's this woman I'm obsessed with on my walk. I went for my walk this morning and I've been seeing her for the past month. I don't remember seeing her before I left for Connecticut, but in any event, I see her every day, and she is wearing Hello Kitty Crocs, bright red Crocs. And it seems like she is out for an exercise, which I find interesting in Crocs. They do not look like they'd be good exercise shoes. And as my whole family knows, especially Bobby, I'm morally opposed to Crocs. I think they're a scourge on society and should be eliminated from fashion unless you're washing off fish on a fishing boat. That's just my opinion. So in any event, I'm obsessed with this woman who wears these Crocs with high socks, and she looks very serious and not like somebody who would be wearing red Hello Kitty Crocs. I'm building up my confidence to ask her about them, but she does not seem super approachable. So far, I just stare at them on the way by. Maybe I'm going to try to snap a picture one of these days. Halloween last week, I did not dress up for Halloween. We don't get any trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood. I think just over the years, there haven't been a lot of kids, and I think there's actually a lot of kids in the neighborhoods around here, but I think they've all taken to going to another location for Halloween and doing trick-or-treating there. A lot of the trick or trunk parties are popular at schools, which I actually don't blame parents not wanting to wander around to strange houses. In any event, I did go to Lifetime on Friday, and I sort of forgot it was Halloween. Well, the outfits at Lifetime were quite surprising. All the fitness instructors, I think, were required to dress up because some of them had something as simple as a headband with kitten ears. But some of the other costumes, at least I think they were fitness instructors. They could have been people working out, but we had everything from workout Barbie to skanky workout Barbie to skanky sadistic workout Barbie. And I just don't get it. This one woman is super fit, obviously can wear this outfit, but she looked like she was probably, I don't know, 50-ish, and tight leather leggings, a bra leather top, and some sort of weird kitten headband, full, like, some sort of weird makeup on. And then she was carrying a Halloween pumpkin, and the piece de resistance were the 5-inch crystal embellished stilettos that she was tottering around on in the wait area, talking to people, waving to people. And I'm thinking the whole time is, please don't come over here. I don't think I'm her target demo. So she didn't come over to me. But I just don't get it. I don't get dressing up, but I also don't get dressing up in that way. And there were several other women who were super fit. So I don't know if they were fitness instructors or not, that were dressed in these outfits that were, I don't know, completely unappealing. Not, again, that I'm their target audience. And a lot of the guys in there didn't really seem interested. I was observing from the leg extension machine in my multiple sets there as to what was going on. And some people would see this woman with the sky-high stilettos and do a double take. But in general, everybody there is focused on what they're doing. Other tales from my walk is the woman with the cute dog that's also vicious. I figured out she lives on a corner on one street that I walk by every day. And as I'm walking by, I hear this weird whistling sound. Now, this whistling sound sort of sounds like what you'd hear in a horror movie when somebody pulls off to an abandoned looking gas station and they're looking for help, and all you hear is a weird whistle, like some crazy person or psychopath is whistling. And this is what she was doing, standing out in the corner of her yard as close to the boundary line as possible with her hands behind her back, whistling weirdly. So when I came around the corner, I looked to see where it was coming from, and she's just standing there swaying back and forth. So I think there's some sort of major issue there. I haven't investigated it further, but she is somebody I am not going to interact with. Other big news, my new mailbox arrived. It's very exciting. Nice and shiny, and I am going to spray paint it with clear protective coating so I don't have to get a new one anytime soon. So that's my big job for the week. But I was out there shining it up the other day. I'm sure my neighbors are thinking, okay, this lady, she cleans her garbage cans and she shines up her mailbox. But when you've spent $450 on this mailbox twice in a year and a half, you take some pride in it. So I am going to keep that looking good. I did have anxiety over the weekend. I saw a wedding dress that looked, or a dress that I could wear to Emma's wedding that came across in an ad campaign from a designer I follow, and I just love it. I rarely look at a dress in first time and think, I love everything about it. The cut, the color, and I didn't try it on. Obviously, it was only online. So the FOBO, fear of a better option, kicked in. And I had to text my friend Gloria and Emma, who both said the dress I have already is their preferred one, but that I should buy this if I really love it to use it for another occasion, which is generally not the way I like to work, because I'd rather buy it when I know I have an occasion, because I end up with things in my closet that looked good and I do like, but the occasion has never come up to wear it. So I am holding back, standing firm with my dress, not letting FOBO kick in. And now it's the shoe search. I also have, since I've been back, been practicing wearing what's in my closet. There was always something that would come up that you thought, oh, that looks cute, or an influencer you follow. And I only follow 3 different people. They're recommending this. Oh, that's cute. That's another cute white top, or that's a cute pair of jeans. And during my search for my wedding outfits, I've focused on that and not on this other everyday clothing or date night, dinner night with the girls kind of clothing. And it's actually a relief. And I've been working through my whole closet. Every night I'll pick out a piece that I'll just hang on my little hook in my closet to think, okay, this top or these pants, this is what you're going to wear tomorrow with something. And based on the heat or the temperature of the day or what I'm doing, I'll make that an outfit. So I've been making that sort of a challenge. And I realized how much stuff I had. With H bringing down the 2 suitcases of stuff I had remaining in Connecticut, I didn't have that for 3 weeks and I didn't miss it. So it was like getting a whole new wardrobe when he came, and I put different things away. Some things are just too summery, even though it's still warm here. People tend to dress in a little bit darker colors, still bright colors, but not as like linen white as summer. So that's been an experience. And I also don't have to go to pack mail as much with all my returns, which is a time savings to say the least. So the shoe search, Maisie and I tried to go down to Palm Beach to go to a few stores yesterday. That was a total bust. All the stores are still closed on Sunday and Monday, apparently. And Saks Fifth Avenue on the island is now closed, gone, out of business. So we did not get the memo on that. We parked on Worth Avenue and we're very excited to park close, and then went to different stores, tried the door. Nope, not open. Saks, out of business. So we really didn't make much headway, but we went down to the new Nora district in West Palm Beach, which is shopping, restaurants, down near where there's a Restoration Hardware. They've expanded that whole area. There's lots of people living down there. And to our favorite Adrian's Pizza Bar for dinner. So we went to Reformation, Anthropology, H&M. I think they're getting a few more stores there, but it's nice to walk around down there. We haven't tried all the restaurants, but it's nice to have a destination, and it will be nice when everything is open down there. I also am getting ready for the wedding from a beauty perspective, which, man, it's a lot of work. I feel like I'm going to fight for my life. I had my hair issues because I had a woman in Connecticut who did my hair while I was up there, which is a mistake. Next year, if I go to Connecticut for the summer, I'm flying back here because I'm not going through this again. She broke my base, which means that she put color on the base of my hair instead of just highlighting. And I told her at the time, my hair does have a reddish cast to it, my natural hair, which nobody has seen for 25 years. But I know that because I had that happen when I moved down here 10 years ago. She said, no, she knew what she was doing. Well, as my roots were still, she covered my roots in this color such that I had this orange halo. At least to me, it appeared to be an orange halo shadowing my face. I did not like how it made my skin look. I didn't like anything about it, especially in a ponytail. And a lot of people said, oh, I don't really see it, but I think they were being kind because now that my roots are growing out, I can tell it's getting back because my natural color is more of a brown color without the reddish or the orange hue. And so it looks better against the blonde highlights. In any event, I had gone to a guy down here that had came with high recommendations from some people. I went to him. He was super nice, but he did some other stuff that also gave into that same tone. He said he was trying to correct it, but I don't quite believe it. And super, super expensive. I can't even tell you how much it costs. My neighbor, who's also in this blonde hair journey with me, went to him as well. She really liked him, but she only had a partial and asked me how much is a full, which is in highlighting or balayage terms, they can do around your face or they can do your entire head. If, you put your hair in a ponytail, the back of your head's going to show, they might, do more hair there. Or if your dark hair is really grown out, they have to do a full head, which is more expensive because it's more time consuming. She did a partial and it was really expensive. And I don't know what I did, but it was exorbitant with tip. It was really the equivalent of a mini vacation, I would say, to Miami for 2 nights. Then he says, oh, yeah, I could cut your hair, but that doesn't inspire confidence. So she and I are both on the fence about it. I spoke to another friend and she gave me the name of her hairdresser who does blondes. And I spoke with her, sent her photos. She seems more like my speed. She's down in West Palm Beach. So I'm going to see her this week just for a gloss. And then she can assess what she needs to do to make me look not, I don't know, some weirdo for the wedding with my red base. It is already getting better. I can see my natural color coming out finally. So I'm just saying, grow, grow, grow. So that's my hair struggle. And because I had so much breakage from my original first person down here earlier this year, where I have these little cowlicks in the back of my head and the front, where I would have bangs, they don't even really want to cut it because there's some breakage there. So I'm hoping to get over that. I clicked on an Instagram ad for hair growth because that's a big thing now for everybody of all ages, but especially for women and older women. Obviously men are always, but women are a big business for it now. So I clicked on it and you answer all these questions and it looks like this dweeby doctor who had this new formula. So I'm an Instagram sucker for almost any kind of ad like that. And I'm like, oh, he looks so nice. I'm going to click through on it. I click through on it. You answer all these questions. And then at the end, it comes up and it said, your scalp age is 93. 93. I'm sorry. So my scalp age is 32 years older than me. I don't believe it. I can't believe my scalp is that much older than I am based on everything I've done to my hair and the collagen I take and all the vitamins. So I was so personally insulted. I was just going to snub him totally. And there's no way I'm buying his product because I find that a preposterous claim that how can you possibly back that up without any photos. They don't ask you for photos. So how do they know what's going on? So that's crazy, and I'm not falling for it. The other fight for my life has been lashes. So Connecticut, really, people don't do these faux eyelashes. Down here, it's popular. So I've been trying to find the perfect mix of what I like. When I found a person in Connecticut, she said, oh, the person you're using in Florida is using bad quality, not the right products. So I love my person here, but I can't go back to her because of that. She's in a salon, I think, where they're not letting her buy the proper product. So I found this woman here who's lovely. And before I found her, I went to this other lash studio. But every time I went in, this younger girl, it was like going to see Eeyore every time. Oh, hi, how are you today? Oh, I'm fine. I'm really tired. And like, all right, I'm sorry. I don't take a phone call from a client or do a Zoom call with a client and say, oh, I'm fine. I'm really tired before I'm about to give them an expensive service. Just not doing it. So I went to her this last time. I didn't like what she did, and I was just done with the whole attitude. I'm sorry, and I'm sure, and she's entitled to have her problems, but I am not her therapist at whatever I'm paying to be there. So I looked up a new woman. She comes highly recommended. I went and met with her. I really, really like her, but what she did the first time, I don't like, and she had said I won't be insulted, so we're working on it. So that's one fight for my life. So skin-wise, I'm trying to make sure my skin is in mint condition for the wedding. So I have a facial scheduled every month. When I went to the dermatologist last time, I had to get some cream to burn off these precancers, which is just a thing when you have light skin like I do. She just freezes them off. But she gave me this prescription cream, which you dab on whatever spots and it takes it off. But over the course of 5 nights, you put this cream on. By day 7, it's the worst. So you look like a victim of something when you have it. And it took him a day and a half after he was here to say, hey, what's that thing on the side of your face? So I'm fighting with that. So that makes me feel like I'm 90 years old. And thank you to the hair guy who said my scalp is 93. I felt like my face looked 93 because that's always the older people you saw walking around with spots on their faces and used to think, wow, they should really do something about that. So here I am in the same position, as well as having to go to the foot doctor for these things on the bottom of my foot. It's really gross. That doesn't even matter. That the doctor has to remove periodically, which I had never heard of, but it feels like there's a pebble under the ball of your foot. So if you want to feel young, go to the foot doctor or the cardiologist. I went there once, and you definitely feel young and fit when you go in there because for some reason, the foot doctor is where I think a lot of people with diabetes go to the foot doctor for circulation issues, and then obviously older people for different issues. But I definitely feel young and fit going there, but at the same time, I feel old. So I am in a fight for my life down here between my hair, my lashes. My nails is a constant because I have Jenny, who's the most fab nail person. I've had her for, I think, 8.5 years. Maisie and I have had her, and she's amazing. So she's my steadfast person down here. I can always count on her. Everything else is a crapshoot. So we'll see when I go get my hair done this week if I like this woman. I'm taking one for the team with my neighbor, I told her, and then she can go try her out. She talked a good game. I'm hoping when I get there that I'm going to like her and like the salon. Besides Halloween this past weekend, we had the changing of the clocks. And I just don't rebound to the change that well, which is not shocking to people who know me. I do like to change things up. I'm always interested in doing new things, but I don't segue well. And the 1 hour change, I find it very hard to get used to. And it's daylight saving time, which my husband gets annoyed because I correct everybody. It's not daylight savings, it's daylight saving time. And they continue to do it. Arizona does not observe it. I found out because Savannah Guthrie is from Arizona and told everybody on the Today Show that that was the case. And there supposedly has been a bill put forward to do away with daylight saving time, which they talk about every year or every 6 months when we change the clocks, fall back or spring forward. But the question is, where do we end up? Do we stay where we are now and never spring ahead? Or do we stay where we were and never fall back? So they are not apparently working on that very seriously, because that's where the agreement ends, that maybe we need to get rid of it, but they don't know which way to go. The other thing is that there's all these studies that say the 1 hour change causes more car accidents, more heart attacks. And they had a doctor on talking about it, and they asked him, why would 1 hour cause a car accident or a heart attack? And he said it's because you have everybody pretty much in the United States changing their clocks, changing their routine, and therefore you're going to have some cumulative effect over the entire population causing this problem. So I do like the morning light down here because it was super dark here in Florida. It does stay light right now till about 5:30. In Connecticut, it's way earlier. Here, it's 5:30, and the days get shorter till December 20th. So we only have like 6 weeks of that dark period, and then every day it gets lighter, which is quite exciting. And it's definitely warmer here, and it's still sunny. So even during the day, if you have fewer hours of sunshine, it is sunny, whereas up north, it gets that gray, wintry look, which is very depressing. I find that very hard to overcome. I am heading up there in December for my friend Thea's birthday party. Her husband is throwing her, so I'm going up on a Thursday, coming back on a Saturday, because I don't want to be in the cold that long, and that means I have to dig out some cold weather clothes, including a coat. I do have some coats left, but every time I take them out, they're looking older and more bedraggled. So I have to check those out before I go up there, or I could just wear my thin little coat and just run in everywhere and not worry about being outside, because it's not going to be snowy. I mean, 99% chance it's not going to be snowy early December. So I am just going to be flexible and adapt, as Maisie said. Then with daylight saving time, we noticed the day after, it's called Day of the Dead, which is a Mexican holiday we looked up that honors people who have died in your life, and it gives you a chance to connect to their spirit, which I think is sort of an interesting holiday. They need to rebrand it, though. Day of the Dead sounds like zombies are coming to murder you. I would say, how about talking to heaven or something fun like that, something positive. Day of the Dead sounds awful, but we thought it was appropriate because everybody feels dead. You feel like when you get up in the morning, you're all thrown off that the time is different. Then all day, we literally kept saying, this is the day that will never end. You look at the clock and you think it's about lunchtime. Oh, it's only 10:30. And then Maisie and I watched the last Murders in the Building episode last night of the season. And we usually watch TV 8 to 9 o'clock, thereabouts, and we're in bed by 9 o'clock. We're very early to bed people. And so last night we had come home from West Palm. We fed the dogs. We took them on a little walk. We watched the TV show. And so I said, when it was over, okay, I stood up, folded up the blanket. Okay, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm talking to the dogs. And Maisie said, it's 7:40 p.m. And I said, you know what? Honestly, I don't care. I'm going to bed. So I literally got in bed, and Otis has been sleeping with me because Emma's not here, and Louis sleeps with Maisie. So I got in bed at 7:48. And what did I even watch? Oh, I'm watching Married at First Sight on Peacock, which I love that show. I became addicted to it way back when in 2020, when I was patient zero, by the way, here in South Florida for COVID, which I'll get to after. But I was sick for, gosh, like 2.5 weeks. My sister-in-law, Sarah, was living with me for several weeks that winter. Thank God, because she took care of the dogs, took care of me. She was a savior. And every day I would get up and she'd say, "How are you today?" And I'd be like, "Ugh, no good. Not this, not well. Awful. I've never been this sick." And the reason I say I'm patient zero is because it's Super Bowl party that year. We all went to my friend's house and they had a blow dart game outside. I know, I've never heard of that. I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it in any event. And so her friends, every time we'd walk by, were dunning me like, "Oh, you have to do it. You have to do it." Maybe because I looked like I was an unlikely blow dart participant. So I finally, at one point, after a couple of drinks, said, "Sure." And of course, you have to put your lips on it, which is totally disgusting and grossing me out now. And I went over there and I was like, "Fine, sure." And I took it. And of course, my family is like horrified, thinking I'm going to slip and fall or twist and shoot the blow dart into somebody's bath, which is a valid concern, actually, based on my history. But I turn and I blow it at the target, bullseye. Boom, mic drop, everybody. But the big mic drop was I got COVID like 4 days later. I didn't know it was COVID at the time. In fact, when I went to the walk-in center at that point, the first thing they asked me if I had been to China. That was their question. That was the only screening they did then. "Have you been to China?" And I said, "No." So they just sent me on my way. And I literally have never been so sick. And I actually had COVID again during the pandemic, but I wasn't as sick as this first time. That was just awful. So thank you to Sarah for taking care of me and making sure I would eat. She would literally stand over me and watch me eat some soup, and it was totally under duress and under protest. I didn't want to eat it, and she told me I couldn't leave until I ate it. So that's when I became addicted to Married at First Sight, which is a show I would have never watched, but I actually like it a lot. And it's very different from Love is Blind, which we're going to talk about in the TV episode this week. The difference is Love is Blind, nobody's met each other, obviously. The girls are in one house, the boys are in another. Then they go out on these dates and meet each other in different rooms throughout the certain period of days. And they eventually are supposed to pick somebody they want to be with, get married to. Whereas Married at First Sight, they have a pastor, and I forget what his name is, but I love him, and a psychologist that interview everybody, go over their profiles, what do they want out of the life, and they then pair applicants with one another. I don't know if they winnow down the number of applicants and then do it that way, or if they pick from these applicants based on the fact that John matches with Susan in terms of lifestyle aspirations, interests, personalities. Do they want kids? Do they not want kids? And so that's how they get paired. So they just show up and they get married to each other. So literally, is it Married at First Sight? And then they've actually had success. I think they said they've had 15 couples that have stayed together and a lot of different babies. So that's way better success rate than Love is Blind, which is awful success rate. And we can talk about that when we talk about TV stuff. The Christmas season is starting here. In our house, we call November 1st the start of the Christmas season. We love Christmas. We hate Halloween. So we're very excited to wave goodbye to Halloween. We don't do Halloween decorations, but we're excited to wave goodbye to those in general and start our Christmas decorations. We've taken them all down. We're ready to put them up. And then I saw on Today's Show maybe talking about Christmas is here too early. Nope, it's not here too early. I'd rather have it too early than too late, because the people that have Christmas decorations up in February for Valentine's Day, that's a no good. That's out. You can't do it. Early's better, late, no. And then these people are complaining on Instagram, etc., that, oh, November 1st is not the start of Christmas, the nerve of people. It's autumn still, it's fall, it's Thanksgiving. Well, these are the same people that we had to deal with, us Christmas people had to deal with their skeletons and their bloody heads and their tombstones out blowing around on their yards for over 2 months. They can suck up an extra month of Christmas. I'm just telling you, I'm just saying. Christmas is all smiles and happy and yay. And Halloween is like, I'm going to kill you. Look at this dead body in my yard. Look at this head with blood running out of its mouth hanging on my lamppost. So they can deal with Christmas for an extra month. And they can put their Christmas stuff up, whatever, but I'm going to do it sooner rather than later. We like to enjoy it here. And then I also like to take it down like the day after Christmas. And with the wedding coming up, that's definitely going to be my plan. So we're looking forward to putting that up pretty soon. I have a Monday observation about different kinds of people. So there's two kinds of people in this world. There's the person that really likes a smooth, clean counter that when you put your hand on it, there's no stickiness, no crumbs, nothing. Just shiny and clean and looking sanitized. That's just what I'm about. My family is always making fun of me because I'm always doing it, but it's one of my things. And then there's the type that would take an everything bagel and rub down the outside of it like they were giving it a massage, such that there's poppy seeds, sesame seeds, everything all over the counter. Move the toaster. Oh, there's some more poppy seeds. Oh, what's that on the bottom of my foot? Oh, it's a sesame seed. There's nothing worse than going over and putting your hand in something sticky, unknown substance on the counter. Disgusting. So 2 types of people. Me, who likes it clean, and those renegade felons who will leave stuff on the counter and pretend, oh, I didn't see that. So which kind of person are you? Are you the clean counter person or the runaway felon? That's it for today, and we'll see you next time.